Well, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another in my series of videos about how to pass an advanced bike test. This is quite an unusual one. I've had to get some permission to make this video, so I don't think you'll see another video like this anywhere on YouTube, because today what I'm going to do is conduct a genuine IAM advanced bike test. And I've spoken to the powers that be at IAM Roadsmart High Command in the bunker, wherever they're based, and I've got permission to film a genuine test. And many of you may know my candidate today, because she's a YouTuber. She's got a lot more subscribers than I have, and it's username Kate. So if you've not seen Kate's channel before, that's the name of the channel. Go and have a look and subscribe. But to be clear, there are no concessions today for Kate. This is a genuine IAM test. We'll run it under proper test conditions, which is only right. And she's going to film her experience as well and put it on her channel, so you'll get to see both sides of the coin. So here we are. Here's my meeting point at this garage. I'll look for my nervous candidate waiting there, and first job is try and put them at their ease. And there she is. Morning, you alright? Oh, there we are, bike buddies. How are you doing? Nice to meet you. You okay? Found us alright? Okay, here we go. Okay, ready to go. Smiling still, good. So, ready when you are. So we started with a bit of a pre-brief. My main job during that pre-brief is to try and put the candidates at ease, get them relaxed, because if you're not relaxed, you're not going to perform at your best on test, are you? So here we are, and I've given Kate the first couple of directions. From there, we don't use comms on advanced bike tests. I don't use a radio or an intercom. I just ask the candidate to watch the mirrors and look for my signals. So it's the early part of the test, first 5-10 minutes. I tend to be pretty forgiving during this part of the test. Not completely forgiving, but reasonably, because people are nervous and they need to settle into the ride. And the best bit of advice I can give to people is just relax, enjoy the ride. Look at today, it's lovely. Middle of November and it's 16 degrees. And the other best bit of advice is just do exactly what your observers have told you to do. Don't change anything today, don't do anything new. Don't think that there's anything specific that I want to see. I just want to see that you're doing what you've been taught on your course. So if I'm looking at Kate and how she's riding the bike, the first few things I'm looking at, does the candidate look comfortable on the bike? And Kate looks quite relaxed. Shoulders look reasonably relaxed, so she's comfortable on the bike. And I'm looking for head and shoulder checks, especially when we're turning at junctions. Looking for good awareness of what's going on behind. So a little shoulder check there before she moved out, that's good. And the other thing I'm looking at early on in the ride is positioning, and whether somebody is applying the system of bike control, whether they're doing things in the right order. So I'll put a left signal on here so that Kate can see nice and early. That's where we're going. And because we're communicating through signals, there's a bit of a requirement for you to put signals on a bit more often on your bike test, because I want to see that you've acknowledged and you've seen that I've got a signal on. So here she sets off. Shoulders. There we go, that's good. To see a left shoulder check before you turn, that's good. So already I'm quite happy that Kate's observations are good. She's looking in the right place, she's aware of what's going on behind, she's clocked my signals. Good start. So on a road like this, 30 limit, lots of hazards, I'm just looking to see that she's moving away from things. She's positioned a little bit to the left of position 2 there, away from those oncoming vehicles. Feet up, kept rolling, that's nice. Left shoulder check, let's see it. There you go, thank you. This black car's looking for somewhere to stop or turn off. I expect a last minute brake and swerve. This is a nice easy uphill sweep up here. It remains a 30 limit quite late. It's important that you keep an eye on your mirrors so that you don't accelerate into the 50 limit whilst you're being overtaken. What I tend to do is take a position out towards the centre line just to discourage anybody from passing us from behind, because I want to see what the candidate does. Should be a mirror and shoulder check here. There we go. The speed limit goes up. That mirror and shoulder check is just the last minute check that you're not being overtaken. So she's into a following position. 2 seconds, good following position. Nice offside view there. And then she's seen that it's a right-hander and moved a little bit towards the left. So this car's doing 45 in a 50, doesn't really give you an opportunity to overtake, so I wouldn't expect that. There we go, left indicator. I told you we were looking for somewhere to turn off, didn't I? So in a moment we're going to turn left, and this is my first opportunity to have a look at a candidate's ability to apply the system of bike control, because we come from a 40 limit, excuse me with this cough, come from a 40 limit to quite a slow left turn into Berry Road. So it'll be a brake and then a change there. And I'm looking to see that if Kate needs brakes, that the brakes come on first before she changes gear. So I'm going to stick her a left indicator on there, see if she clocks that. Yes. It's Berry Road. So brakes and then gear and then brakes. So system just a little bit out there. Brakes, gear, brake. Should really be one application of brakes and one gear change. So as an examiner, that just flags to me there might be a little issue with Kate's application of system. So I'm on the lookout for it now. The next junction we get to will be a horrible double mini roundabout, and I'll get a good opportunity to look at a system on the approach to that. Alright, it was quite nice through that corner, bit of gas. I think I'd have been a little bit further near side, but not bad. Cyclists, remember my rule with cyclists? Not a rule. Remember my advice with cyclists? We don't do rules, do we? Plan to follow, look to pass. That's good, she's following. It'd be very easy to follow those cars into the overtake there, but we're not doing. Wait, make the decision for yourself when it's safe. So now get up with that cyclist. You tuck into the near side a little bit further, you get a better view past them. Cross view now through the fences. Good. Little shoulder check before she moved out, that's all good, like that. So at the moment, at this point, she's not doing anything that concerns me. I'm really happy with her observations and shoulder checks, happy that she's comfortable on the bike. Just a question mark over system. We're going to have a look at that at the next junction. So coming up, double mini roundabout. We're going to turn right. It is an awkward one, this. I don't like this junction. I don't deliberately bring people here for the junction, it's just that's what they've put in. That was nicely done. Too many people faff about at that junction. That was quite nicely taken. So heading up out of a built up area now, heading up towards some national speed limit road, but it's a bit further up. We've got this long section of 30 limit now in between this village and the next one. It looks a bit odd, but historically there is a reason for it. It used to be a children's home at the top. So always interesting to see if somebody clocks that it's a 30 limit. Just a little bit over speed there, but she's dropped it back. No change in speed limit, she's clocked that. Okay, so she's clocked the 30 limit all the way up the hill, that's good. Again, I'm not trying to catch people out, I'm just trying to put them on the roads that I want to see them ride on. But I have had a few people caught out assuming it's gone to national when it hasn't. Like he'd made that motorbike out of bits he'd found in skips. So up ahead, national speed limit, chevron boards to the left. Let's see how she deals with a little bit of slightly higher speed stuff. This to me is what the advanced bike test's all about. How does she deal with corners? So I'm going to get right up with her. It's a little bit position 2 into that left-hander. I'd like to have seen her move towards the centre line, but it's okay. Problem with this section of road is a near side position can really put you off camber. So the position she's choosing there up towards the centre line is probably best actually for this road, even though there's a right-hander coming up. Remember in my positioning video I said you want to compromise. Compromise for safety. Straight into the overtake there, I like it. Other than that, good overtake. If I've gone for it and it's safe, it's definitely safe for the candidate, so that was good. I like it. So at this point, and other examiners will tell you this, at this point I'm actually quite enjoying the ride, and I'm quite enjoying following Kate. She's making a good account of herself at the moment, and that is a really good indicator. That it's quite difficult to change my view at this point in the ride. I'd like to see her positioning a little bit more for corners. She's not moving very much, but speed assessment's good. She's using the limit point correctly. She's applying system correctly on approach, and more importantly she's on the gas through the corners, and this is a really common fault. This there, she was accelerating through that bend. It's very easy to decelerate through there and destabilise the bike. She's got plenty of confidence, but the speed into these corners is appropriate for me. It feels right. It's the sort of pace I'd ride at. But it's that application of gas through the corners that I'm looking for more than anything. And it, you know, I can tell if you're not doing, because I'll catch up with you through the corner. And also the bike looks unstable. You'll go around the corner like a bit of a 50 pence. Right, so this is pretty nice. Quite happy with this. To see a little bit more movement in position, that's all, but otherwise, you know, this bit of road is my first opportunity to have a look at somebody's cornering, and this is pretty good so far. A little bit of brakes as she tipped it in there, quite necessary really, but there we go. So the brakes were on and then off before she tipped it in, so system's good. So it's quite a high road, this one. You can see we've got snow poles. Sometimes in November it gets a bit icy and a bit snowy up here, so we've been really lucky with the weather. Another thing I've noticed with the cornering is she just looks where she wants to go here. So you head up looking through the bend where you want to go. She's braking because of these overtaking vehicles coming ahead. Because that's what people do, isn't it? They just pass, they don't think about what's coming. Well, that was nicely dealt with. There's a bit of a dip at the bottom here. It's difficult to spot. Let's see if she clocks it. She was alright with that. So one of the other things I'm interested in is your following position. So Do we catch up to something, and do we maintain a good 2-second following position? And at the moment that's pretty good. It's another way that people fail the test, this, or it's another way that people's marks drop down on the test, is that they catch up with something, get in a following position and then drop back. Looking for a signal from me there. I'm going left. Trying her best to keep her feet up here, so I'm marking her on her low speed manoeuvring. That's an element of the test as well, and she's doing quite nicely. Let's have a look. Nice and smart away at the junctions. So progress, I'm going to do a video about progress probably today. I think I'll go out and do a video later on about progress, but progress is about not faffing about, it's about getting on with it. It's not necessarily about riding really fast, it's about taking opportunities when they present themselves. And I always tell candidates, don't worry about me, if it's on I'll come with you, if not I'll make my own decision. And one thing that's standing out at Kate's riding at the moment is she's just cracking on with it, just getting on with it, and it feels to me like she's relaxed into the ride now and she's quite enjoying it, so that's good. So we're going to join the motorway now. First exit left at the roundabout, M65 towards Preston. And I'm going to have a look now at how Kate joins the motorway. System's looking a lot better there. What I tend to do here as an examiner is tuck myself up the near side so I'm not hampering a view. The offside mirror. Checks. Good view in the mirror. And out she goes. Nicely joined into lane 1, not that difficult today. It's pretty quiet on the M65 today. Well, that was a textbook motorway join. So all I'm looking for on the motorway leg is good lane discipline, good long forward observations. Hopefully we can just maintain a speed without it dropping, keep an eye on the mirrors and overtake where it's appropriate. So she's maintaining bang in the middle of lane 1. Sometimes it's a little bit better just to move to the left slightly on lane 1 because you've got vehicles coming past you like this. I would expect her to have a look onto the slip road now and see if anything's joining. And what do you know, nothing joining. So no actions required there, but we're catching up with that slow moving red vehicle in front. Let's see what she chooses to do. Nothing behind. I'll move left just to clear a view. Yeah, that's good. She's not stuck herself in a really tight following position. She's waiting for that car to come past before she's moved out. It's good. Fallen into a nice following position. Always keep an eye on your right mirror where you've got a lane closure like that. And is she going to resume her lane? I'm not going to drop her a hint here. I'm going to see what she does. Yeah, resumes lane 1. That's good. And then let's see if she has a look on the slip road. Nothing coming behind if we need to move out. Good. Like it. Shoulder check. So the lorry is doing 56 miles an hour. He's on his limiter. We're doing 70. Not a lot happening behind. Somebody just moving out to lane 2. Let's see what she decides to do here, because we are off at the next exit, but there is enough time to get past this lorry if we need to. Good choice. That's what I'd have done. So the next roundabout we're going to turn right. Let's have a look at your system, Kate, see how you're getting on. Okay, brakes, then gears, She's overlapping the gears just towards the end of the braking. She's gone all the way around. I'm sure she'll clock that. Does happen occasionally on test. It's shown as a right turn on the route board, so of course I've treated it as a right turn, but there is another junction off to the right there that looks more like a right turn, so I'll give it that one. We're left at this one. Brakes and then gears. Looks good to me. That one. Trouble is, this white car has accelerated, caused her a bit of a problem. So that overtake, yeah, it was on. You can use hatch markings as long as they're bordered with a broken white line if it's necessary to overtake. The problem was the white car was still accelerating and caused Kate a bit of a problem because she knew she couldn't go above 40 on the overtake, but she stuck to it and she managed to come back in. There was a little swerve and return, but yeah, I'm going to say it was a bit basic, a bit agricultural, but she got away with that one. Didn't break any rules. The overtake was on, wasn't on for me. So let's see how she gets on here. Positioning. Oh, that's looking better. Yeah, that's good. Improvement with the positioning. Just like to see a bit more of a near side move there on the way into those right-handers. It opens your view up a bit more, you can see a bit further, and that's what helps with your speed assessment. Offside again, yeah, just she's going sort of position 1.5, position 2, position 2.5 rather than 1, 2, 3. Being shy of position 1, I wouldn't be right into the near side, certainly not at this time of year, because it's that near side verge gets full of leaves and other bits of issues and things like that, but just not quite right on the positioning. But otherwise the cornering is really good. The cornering is really good. I'll be tempted to put at the moment Kate at a 1 for cornering and a 2 for positioning, which I think is a fair assessment of what she's doing. See how she deals with the changing speed limit here. Good, that was nicely dealt with. Good look at that discovery. A couple of cyclists up the top of the hill here, shoulder checks. Straight on it. Good. So a little bit better with the positioning there. That consistent use of gas throttle through the corners is what impresses me more than anything. So right turn at the end, quick check that system's still okay. She's rolling off the gas, brakes, and then the foot's going down on the gears. That's all good. Nice snappy decision at the junction. Right, shoulder check please, thank you. So we're coming up to a roundabout now. Let's have a look at the system again. We are going wheel today 674, so right signal. System's good, brakes, then gear it down. off at this one, we're off at the next one. This one, this one, this one. That's it, thank you. Shoulder check, good. Straight into the sun, thanks sun. Let's see if she clocks that. Keep. Good. Again, there's an improvement there with the positioning on the approach to these corners. You know, if you're a candidate on test, you can change my mind about things. We can start off with a bit of a concern, but the longer the ride goes on, I know that you're relaxing into the ride, I know that you're getting more comfortable with it. It's a 30 limit up here that's easy to miss. There it is, well spotted, well spotted. Yeah, you can change my mind, and I'm sort of changing my mind about Kate's positioning now. Early on in the ride she was a little bit limited, very much centred on position 2. And as the ride's moved on, you know, all the other good stuff was there with the cornering, speed assessment, use of throttle, that kind of stuff. And as the ride's gone on, the positioning's improved as well, so I am much less concerned about that element of her riding now. So there, for example, out in position, almost position 5 there, plenty of room, the vehicle's on the left in case the door opens. She's clearly thinking, you know, what could happen, what can you see, what can't you see, what you can reasonably expect to happen. Oh, that's good. Every time we have an increase in speed limit like that, she's really smartly away. That's exactly what I want to see. It looks really good. It's really eager to get the bike up to speed. National speed limit road. Just a little bit late with the braking for that corner there, but thrown a little bit by the road conditions. You've got to use your position just to keep you on the best part of the road surface there. Not too bad though, not too bad. So here, wait for the oncoming car. Beyond that oncoming car, something's just pulled out and gone in the other direction, so I've got to presume it's clear. Brake lights I think have just come on in one of the cars down the left hand side there. But again, we're out in position 5, well away from them. And easily visible in their offside door mirror as well from this position. It's good to see. So this road, it used to be national speed limit, it's now a 50 limit, so we're stuck with that. But again, it's a good opportunity for me to look at how Casey's looking down the road, planning for hazards. A little C90, is it? Oh no, it's a little scooter. And how she's planning to follow. Oh, I think we can fit through there. I get what you're doing, but if you're up to the centre line there, we're giving that cyclist enough room. But should I be too critical about somebody being a little bit overcautious with a cyclist? No, probably not. That might not be the way I would have dealt with that, but it doesn't mean there was anything wrong with it. It was fine, that. Good, position away from those, so that puts you out of position for the right-hander, but it's safer for those parked cars. Good. Yeah, big improvement with the positioning, second half of this ride. So at this point in the ride, I'm pretty impressed actually. Kate has definitely paid attention to her observers. She's really worked hard, I can tell she's worked hard on this course. She's been very focused today on this test. And up to now, and we are more than 2/3 of the way into the test now, probably 3/4 of the way into the test now, up to now, this is a pass, and it's pretty close to being a first for me, this. One or two little areas that she might be marking 2 in, and I'm still hovering whether it's a 1 or a 2 for positioning. But pretty much every area that I am assessing Kate on, I think she's scoring 1s. So really, I'll tell her this afterwards. All she needs to do now is get us back in one piece and not make any silly mistakes. But she seems to be pretty well settled into the ride. You've got to remember here, we are under a no overtaking sign. Fortunately, there are repeaters. I have a feeling she was thinking about it then. That repeater reminded her. It's good. Okay, if you weren't thinking about overtaking there, I apologise. So I'll try and get this left indicator on nice and early. Time to clock me. Just after we get to this bus stop here. Yeah, I mean, I can see from her head movement she's giving plenty of mirror checks. I'm really happy with the rear observations here. System, yeah, brakes on first, then the gear, it's all good. Here's the other thing I'm looking for on test: consistency. Not that just you get it right a couple of times during the test, but you consistently get it right all the way around. And apart from that little blip right at the start with system, this has been consistently good. Everything in the right order, good observations, giving information, and then everything in the right order: position, speed and gear. Oh, I'll have that. Yep, that's another good overtake, that. There aren't many candidates that think of going for the overtake there, but it was absolutely on. Well done, Kate. Nicely done. She's an overtaking machine. Like this little run along here. We're only 5 minutes from the end of the test, but it just finishes the test off nicely. That's good, that was all nicely dealt with. Keep yourself out towards the centre line there for this next set of pedestrians. Good. Nicely done. There's a change in speed limit here, see if you spot it. There we go. Well done. So an early move to the right here is good. Get your position out early, get your view, that's it. Saves you having to slow down. If there's nothing coming, you'll spot it early. Just as she's done there, spot on that. So you know, there's all these little tick boxes that I need to fill when I fill in the assessment sheet at the end. One of them's courtesy. There's been several occasions today where, you know, it's appropriate for us to give priority to oncoming vehicles or other vehicles at junctions, and she's just got it right, just pitched it right, so that's good. You know, the little areas like smoothness, I am not seeing anything that concerns me about the way that that Kate steers the bike. That's all been nice and smooth. She's been tipping the bike in nicely, a bit of counter steer. Body weights or a body position's good on the bike, keeping herself upright. I felt completely safe throughout the ride. I don't feel like she's pushed herself into anything that's unsafe. Been legal. Now, there's 1 or 2 speed limits on this run that are difficult to spot, and she's clocked them. So 100% Kate has passed the test. Once she doesn't drop it on the garage forecourt, she's definitely passed the test at this point. The only question for me now is to decide whether she is one of those quite rare candidates that gets a first, and actually she's pretty close. What we try and do is tell somebody the result of the test immediately, so if you've passed or failed, I'll tell you just as you've got off your bike and turned it off. And then what I tend to do is go and fill the sheet in, have a brew, have a chat, do the debrief, and then make a decision whether it's a first or just a normal pass. And we don't give many firsts out, to be honest. So yeah, that's good. I like passing people. I don't get any enjoyment out of people failing the test. apart from giving them guidance on how to improve and come back and do it again. How was that? Look at your face. Well, I told you we're not looking for a perfect ride. It's not possible, is it? Well done, you've passed.
You're joking there.
Why would I joke? Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, well done.
I really have.
Yeah, it was a good ride.
Pulling my leg.
Yeah, I'm pulling your leg, you failed. No, of course I'm not pulling your leg. No, you passed. I wouldn't do that to you. Get your helmet and everything off. Let's go and have a brew. And let's talk through it in a bit more detail, shall we? Yeah. But well done, it was good. I enjoyed that. So that's pretty much it for this video. Once I've given a candidate their results, told them whether they passed or failed or not, we're going to have half an hour and a brew and a bit of feedback. And when I say a bit of feedback, quite a long detailed feedback actually, about half an hour. Go through the ride in detail, discuss everything that happened. So I've done that with Kate, and I came to the conclusion that actually it was a first class ride, and I've awarded Kate a first. It was just a really good ride from start to finish. There's always little bits of things. Nobody does a perfect ride, but for me it was exactly what we're looking for at the end of an advanced riding course. So every credit to Kate's observers at Bram, Bury and Rochdale advanced motorist, got her up to standard for this test. Big thanks to Kate for letting us film the experience. Kate's channel is username Kate. Go and have a look, subscribe to her channel. She's also made a video about her experience, so you'll be able to get to see the other side of this as well. You'll see it from the examiner's point of view, you'll see it from her point of view as well. She'll share her thoughts about the experience. And thanks a lot to the IAM Roadsmart for allowing us to film this and put it online. It's the first time they've allowed anybody to do that. So it's nice to be able to share the experience with all of you, so that you can see it's a really worthwhile exercise undertaking an advanced riding course. So that pretty much wraps up this series of videos about how to pass an advanced bike test as well. I'll save this one for the end so you can see in conclusion how the whole thing comes together at the end in a test. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of the series. Loads more videos to come, loads of stuff to edit, so if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, come back, keep having a look. But for now, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.